Hello and welcome to another Vinny Talk Sayings. I'm your host Vincent LaRose. Today it's June 8th. The Yankees just came off a win yesterday, a huge win against the Boston Red Sox to split the 2-game set. Of course, it was supposed to be a 3-game set. Saturday's game got postponed. It's going to be played as a doubleheader on August 29th. But the Yankees take the win. I was actually at that game. It was so much fun to watch. Yankees finally figured it out after the Bellinger home run, Jazz, everything. It was just a really, really cool game to go and watch. And I'm happy they won. It's my last game before I move out of New York. So I'm happy they were able to win because now I get to go watch games in Tropicana Field. Yeah. You know, the worst stadium in all of baseball. Super, super excited. I'm sure you guys could tell. But anyways, besides the win yesterday, the Yankees have a big problem. The New York Yankees have been absolutely hammered with injuries this past month, and the injured list just keeps growing. And although the injured list isn't like 10 guys, these guys are like core guys on the team that are down. Of course, we'll just list them at this point. Max Fried is down. Aaron Judge is down. Giancarlo Stanton is down. Jason Dominguez is down. Austin Wells went down. Clark Schmidt, Angel Chavilli, Luis Hill. So many of these guys are down. And of course, like guys like Clark Schmidt, he's been out with Tommy John. Luis Hill's in the minors. Austin Wells has been playing awful. Angel Chavilli, I mean, he really didn't do much before he got hurt anyways, but like missing guys like Max Fried, Judge, and Stanton are huge. And of course Dominguez, when he finally came up and got his shot, he was playing so well. And to make that amazing play out in left field to only, sprain his AC, to get an AC sprain in his shoulder, really, really sucks. Of course, there's other stuff too that like Grisham had the bad knee for a little bit. Jose Caballero missed significant time. Well, not significant time, but he missed 10 days with the thumb injury. Was it the thumb or was it the pointer finger? I don't remember. Rice was the thumb injury. Rice missed a couple games with the thumb injury, and then it took him a little bit to really, ramp back up. But like, this all has not been helping the Yankees, of course. In games like, all right, we have Judge in, but we've learned that Judge was hurt for quite a decent amount of time now. So you have guys hurt like Judge, and then you're missing out on guys like Rice and Caballero who have been so significant to this team. But it sucks when these guys go down for any significant amount of time because there's such a big role on this roster. Max Fried has been your ace for the past 2 years. Giancarlo Stanton is so intimidating at the plate. Even when he's not on, pitchers are still scared to pitch to him at the end of the day. And of course, Aaron Judge. When you're missing that key component in a lineup, it's going to hurt you. And Jason Dominguez, of course, although maybe isn't exactly what we all wanted him or thought he was going to be, but he played a decent role in the short amount of times he was playing for the Yankees, getting opportunities to DH with Stanton going down. And he just runs the bases really well, honestly. Dominguez is a good base runner, so missing a guy like that really, really sucks. But let's really get into the actual injury. So Max Fried went down with a bone bruise in his throwing elbow and has resumed his throwing program. Since there's still no timetable on his return, of course there are decisions to be made once Max Fried comes back. The Yankees technically, as of right now, have a 5-man rotation. Warren and Weathers are at the bottom end of that. As of now, with Weathers, the past 2 games, I really think Warren has earned his spot, and I 100% believe that Warren deserves to be the 5 in this rotation. This is one of the best rotations in all of baseball. Might be the best rotation in all of baseball. So Warren really deserves his spot. I'm actually going to do a full video about Will Warren on Wednesday, so make sure you guys come back to tune in for that because that's going to be a really good video. But there are decisions to be made there. Of course, Giancarlo Stanton went down with the calf strain. He's been taking live batting practice, and he's been lightly running. He's expected to be back within the next couple of weeks, but Giancarlo Stanton injury is so weird to me. Like, we all watched it happen in Fenway. He, shuffled, and then he ran to third, immediately looked at the dugout, and was like, yeah, I'm done. I know he's injury prone, but, it didn't even look like anything happened there, to be honest. There was no even when you zoom in on his calf, there was no egregious movement. You didn't really see anything tense. It just very, very, very strange, that injury. But it is Giancarlo Stanton. He does get hurt a lot. Giancarlo Stanton is so important to this lineup. He's a power right-handed bat the Yankees have really been missing, and especially with Judge struggling because of his injury, he's been missed so much. But hopefully he'll be back within the next couple of weeks, and we can get that dominant force back in the lineup. And then Jason Dominguez went down with the AC sprain in his shoulder after a spectacular catch. He has been taking live batting practice, and he's been seeming to he's seeming to be returning, if not just before Stanton, around the same time as Stanton. Obviously, Dominguez is much younger. He's not as injury prone as Stanton is, although Dominguez has got hurt a decent amount in his short career. More freakish injuries than anything. But he's expected around that time, and I think that fits well because you kind of just say goodbye to Max Schumann. Dominguez fits right in there. You could give him a couple DH days. You can throw him in left or right field. I think throwing Dominguez in right field would be a good idea for the Yankees because Judge is going to miss a significant amount of time. So giving the Yankees that option to where it's like at least that right field's easy to play, so you're not super concerned about it, and you can get that bat in the lineup because he was hitting from both sides when he came up, and he was hitting well. Hopefully, of course, this injury doesn't really like slow him down from what he was doing. It's very likely it will. It's very unlikely that Dominguez is just going to come back and do exactly what he was doing, especially coming off an injury, especially off a shoulder injury. As all that, you have to get the feel back. You got to make sure your swing is right with no pain. So it's a decent amount to come back from, but we are really missing Dominguez right now, and hopefully he returns and he leaves exactly how he left off, or starts exactly how he left off. Then we have the Clarke Schmidt injury. Of course, as we all know, Clarke Schmidt got Tommy John. He is still in a rehab assignment. It has been going actually very well for Clarke Schmidt. Everything has been going seemingly to plan, just kind of like when Garrett Cole was coming back from Tommy John. Everything is going well. Garrett Cole and Clarke Schmidt got two different Tommy Johns. Garrett Cole got more of the traditional Tommy John that takes 12 to 16 months. It's not necessarily traditional, but in the sense of it's that his rehab was always planned to be 12 to 16 or 12 to 14 months, or was it 14 to 16? It might have been 14 to 16 months. They didn't want to rush Cole back at all, but it's different for Schmidt. As we know, Schmidt got hurt not at the end of last season, but right after the All-Star break of last season. His last start, I believe, was in Cleveland before they figured out he needed Tommy John again. He got a different type of Tommy John surgery than Garrett Cole. It's more of a actual repair to the ligament, and it's like wrapped in Kevlar, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong about that. I'm just going off like knowledge off the top of my head. I did no research on this, but I know that's the surgery he did get. So Clarke Schmidt is expected back within 12 months, and it is looking like we will get him, if not after the All-Star break, sometime in August. So we could see Clarke Schmidt in the next 1 to 2 months. Like, it's very possible. Schmidt is likely going to come in and go straight into a bullpen role, which I think will work because he has been in that bullpen role before. Obviously, the Yankees are loaded with pitching. We don't really need starting pitching, and it's a good thing to be like, if the guys go down, Clarke Schmidt is a really good 5 option. So that is not a problem at all, and I think that's why the Yankees haven't done anything super crazy with the bullpen moves yet, because they know they have guys like Carlos Lagrange coming up. They know they're going to get Clarke Schmidt back. They know they're going to probably throw Weathers in there and be able to bolster that bullpen. I just don't know how much starting pitching in the bullpen is going to help the Yankees. Don't get me wrong, Lagrange, I from the start was like, this guy's going to be coming out the bullpen. I know the Yankees wanted to keep him as a starter, but he has bullpen stuff, man. 103 consistently, nasty slider. And I don't see how the Yankees didn't do this sooner with Weathers, in the sense of, I think Weathers will fit in the bullpen simply based on the fact of, we've watched all of Weathers starts. He always starts off strong, throwing hard, nasty slider, good changeup, and then it just all kind of falls apart towards the end. And I think he'd be very good in a 1 to 2 inning role. I feel like his stuff just is so good where it would help the Yankees so much with him coming out the bullpen, especially as a left-hander. We don't have a left-handed power bullpen arm guy. I mean, I guess you can go, maybe Hedrick is that, but Hedrick isn't throwing upper 90s, so I think Weathers would be very good in that role. And on top of that, he can throw his 100-mile-per-hour fastball max effort because he knows he's only going 1 to 2 innings. So I think Weathers would be very good in that role. But moving on, another injury the Yankees have, Luis Hill was dealing with a shoulder injury. There's absolutely no timetable. Of course, Luis Hill's in AAA, so it doesn't necessarily matter, but he's not a bad option to have if a couple guys go down. And trust me, I'm sure we've all watched enough baseball to know you can lose 2 guys in a week. So having a guy like that in AAA is very important. So hopefully Luis Hill can figure out the shoulder issue and come back strong. And of course, Angel Chivili is also dealing with the shoulder, but he's been throwing live BP and he's near a return. He really wasn't that great for the Yankees coming out of the bullpen. Of course, we traded for him in the offseason from the Rockies. Oh my God, and hasn't been great. You can see where they believe in the stuff. Definitely gonna have to do a lot of work with him, but any guy like that in the bullpen will help the Yankees tremendously at this point because this bullpen is super overworked, man. It's super overworked. And not in the sense of the innings part, but it's like you really only got like 3 guys you can trust. So those are the 3 guys you have to use almost every single day. And Hill, Bednar, Cruz. Duvall's really not in that spot anymore. Although Duvall did look really good in his inning pitch on, what was it, Friday? I think it was Friday. Then there's the Austin Wells injury. He was just placed on the 10-day IL after being diagnosed with cervical headaches. Austin Wells has been absolutely awful for the Yankees, and this is probably the best case scenario for the Yankees. He's going to go down for 10 days, and if I were the Yankees, I would push it as long as I possibly could. Of course, there's rules in MLB now. You can't really do phantom ILs anymore, so he had to have been diagnosed with them. So it's very possible that the doctors don't actually release him and let him play, but it's likely it's probably going to only be a 10-day stint. It's headaches, man. Like it's not going to be anything crazy. Maybe they do. I know they're going to do some scanning and seeing to see if there's any more relying issues there, but Austin Wells has been one of the worst qualifying hitting catchers in all of baseball this year. He's just been bad at the plate. He's completely lost, and having 2 left-handed hitting catchers was killing the Yankees. Of course, the Yankees called up, why am I blanking on his name? What is it, Angel Rivera? What is his name? That's really going to bother me that I don't remember his name. Oh my God. What is his name? I'm sorry. I have to look. It's going to bother me so much. Wow, wasn't even close. Ollie Sanchez. Wow, Angel Rivera, really? That's really bad. Ollie Sanchez, of course, he made his major league debut yesterday. I believe he went 0 for 3. Not his major league debut, his Yankee debut. But he went 0 for 3. But it's just nice to have a right-handed catcher in there because Austin Wells would have went 0 for 3 too. So it really doesn't matter. But hopefully this is the problem with Wells. He comes back and he starts hitting again. But I really highly doubt it. I think Wells is completely overwhelmed, and I think the transition from the minors to the majors is really showing with Wells, and it just shows that it's likely not going to work out in the end for Austin Wells. I hope he does, though. I really hope it does. I hope it does. But of course, to end the video, the big one, Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has gone down with what has thought to be a bone bruise at first, and then after days of speculation, we thought there was a real chance Judge did not play for the rest of the season. There was all these different speculations. There was the AC sprain or AC tear, just like Dominguez, or tear, not a sprain. There was because he was feeling it in his shoulder. There was a possibility of broken ribs would have put him out for the rest of the season. All these speculations. There was so much inflammation on the right side where they couldn't actually figure out what was wrong with him, but they finally figured it out. Of course, it was, I think it was a cracked ribs on the right side. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, or he's going to be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. I find it really hard to believe that he's going to be back in 4 to 6 weeks. I would fully expect Aaron Judge to be back at the beginning of August. That is just my opinion. I don't think there's any reason to rush him, especially if the Yankees are playing well. Aaron Judge is a huge loss to this lineup. Do not get me wrong. At least give the lineup a chance to show that, hey, we can make it without Judge before we all freak out. Do I think they can? Probably not. I think Judge is just too much of a force in the lineup, but let's get Stanton back. Let's get Dominguez back. Get guys like Schumann out of the lineup consistently and just make it work a little bit. Try to see what we can do. Play with the lineup in the sense of, like, maybe Dominguez does finally figure it out. And although I would never expect Dominguez to replace Judge's like on-field presence and put up his numbers, but I do think Dominguez can be competitive enough to where the Yankees aren't going to be at a complete loss without Aaron Judge. As we all remember, 2023, Aaron Judge breaks his toe going for a fly ball in right field in Dodger Stadium, catches it, but he hits the bottom of the wall where it's complete cement, breaks his toe, and the Yankees season was over. The Yankees had guys like Willie Calhoun in the Willie Calhoun in the lineup. So many other guys I'm sure none of us even remember the names of. And Billy McKinney was one. Jesus Christ. It's not like that this year. It's not. You got Bellinger. Jazz is starting to heat up. You have Grisham is really starting to heat up. Grisham has been the best qualifying hitter on the Yankees for the past 15 games. He's starting to finally figure it out. You still have Rice. Goldschmidt has been hitting well. You still have options. I know Volpe's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. McMahon is still trying to figure it out, but you still have Caballero, who has been putting up good numbers, and hopefully with Ali Sanchez coming in, he can, just hit left-handed pitchers enough to where JC Escarra can get more consistent playing time against right-handed hitters, and maybe figure it out. You never know. But of course, this is a huge loss. I'm not trying to sit here and go, oh, the Yankees are going to be completely fine without him. They're not. I don't think the Yankees are going to win nearly as many games with Aaron Judge, or without Aaron Judge, as they would with Aaron Judge. But there's an opportunity for Ben Rice to really, really step up here and, hey, after Judge, there's still a guy here that the Yankees can rely on. And I really have a feeling that Ben Rice is going to step up here and play well. Of course, since going down, he's not really. I wouldn't say he's not. He didn't run Friday. Yesterday's game, at least. Of course, the game I went to, Ben Rice kind of sucked. But the Yankees have a much better offense than normal. The Yankees need to just figure out how to get clutch hits. That has really just been their problem all season long. They finally get the opportunities to get runners in, and they just they fold. They can't succeed in big moments, and that is what's been hurting the Yankees. The Yankees have one of the better OPSs in baseball, one of the better batting averages, on base percentages, slug, OPS. You can look at all the numbers. The Yankees are in the top of the tier at the league. It's really just when it comes down to crunch time, when they really need to succeed, is when they fold. Of course, the good news about Aaron Judge is the injury is not originally as bad as it was presumed to be. We really did think we were going to lose him for the entire season, which would have sucked, at least until the playoffs, which would have been really, really bad for the Yankees. The Yankees, as of yesterday, winning, are technically tied for first place. They're a game up in wins and then a game down in losses. So I think they're considered a half game out. But of course, the Rays have the tiebreaker because we can't beat them. So yeah, the Yankees are there. The pitching is so good. With Max Fried coming back soon, I'm not overly concerned. They really need to work on the bullpen, and I think if they can just start hitting in big moments. The offense just has struggled so much when we've needed them to. It's very hard, and I trust me, I am worried about missing Aaron Judge for a long period of time. But another thing that has really confused me is the Yankees have said that he had been injured for a month at that point. He originally hurt himself in Houston, and then he was diving for a ball. I believe he dove for a ball in Houston, and he didn't make the play, hit the ground hard, and then he made a play in right field not too long ago. I don't remember who was against, but he hit the right field wall, and you can just see the grimace. Even with his at-bats, you could just tell he was hurt. I thought he was hurt from the beginning, and I really wish the Yankees would have just done hey, maybe let's, even though we can't get imaging right now, let's sit him for 3 days so the swelling goes down, and then do the imaging. Because if you did that 3 weeks ago, we'd be talking about how Aaron Judge will be back right after the All-Star break, and the Yankees will be in a good spot. So it sucks, but you never know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he's back sooner than we originally we presume. I hope that at that 4-week mark they do the screening and go, oh shit, Judge, you're good. Your ribs have healed well. Do 1 week of rehab down in the minors and come right back. And then right after the All-Star break, Judge comes back and the Yankees are right back into the race and in a good spot. But I do believe this Yankees offense is good enough to hold ground, at least stay within a game or two, maybe get a game lead against this Tampa Bay Rays team. Of course, the Rays have kind of slowed down a little bit too, so the Yankees have a real opportunity today. But the Yankees start a series in Cleveland today. The Yankees, it is very, very, very important for the Yankees to win this series. I know it's in Cleveland, and it's really hard to ask a team to go on a road trip and win 2 out of 3, but the Yankees need to prove themselves against good baseball teams. They have not beaten good baseball teams, and with Aaron Judge gone, a lot of people are counting them out. They need to go into Cleveland and take 2 out of 3. They absolutely have to. Warren's on the mound tonight. we have a good opportunity to win every single night. Our pitching gives us a chance every single night. Maybe other than like Weathers his past 2 starts. But that is where I'm going to end today. So if you watched the entire video, I appreciate it. Of course, I still have my own personal company. If you guys are interested, I'll go to the website in the bio. We could do a whole ton of stuff. Just let me know. Thank you everybody for watching on the YouTube side, or if you're listening on the podcast side. I appreciate every last one of you. And as always,